Strangeways Prison, now known as Manchester Prison. It's used as a holding prison for those awaiting trial in the local area, as well as housing Category A prisoners who need maximum security. Today we look at Strangeways Prison's most notorious former and current inmates. 1. Ian Brady. Ian Brady, along with his partner Myra Hindley, took the lives of 5 children between 1963 and 1965. Known as the Moors murders, Keith Bennett is the only victim still not to be found. Ian Brady did not serve a sentence at Strangeways for these horrific crimes. He actually only served a 3-month sentence at Strangeways before these ever took place. Ian Brady was in and out of court as a youngster. He was caught smuggling sacks full of lead from a market and was sent to Strangeways for 3 months at 17 years old. 5 years later, he committed the Moors murders. Hindley and Brady were given life imprisonment. The death penalty was abolished just 6 months before. Following his conviction, Ian Brady was sent to Durham Prison, where he asked to live in solitary confinement. He spent 19 years there before being diagnosed as a psychopath and being sent to Ashworth Hospital. Brady went on hunger strikes and was force-fed. He rarely spoke with psychiatrists in the hospital, but he did speak with journalists. Brady died at the age of 79 in Ashworth Hospital on the 15th of May 2017. The last cruel act of Ian Brady and Myra Hindley was to not tell Keith Bennett's family where he was. I hope the search continues and one day Keith is found for the Bennett family and for his late mum Winnie, who never gave up and is now, hopefully, reunited with her son. 2. Mark Bridger. On the 1st of October 2012, April Jones was playing outside her house with a friend. Her parents had last seen her riding her pink bicycle at around 7 p.m. She was then not seen again. At around 7:30, her parents phoned the police and reported her missing. Witnesses said they saw April climbing into a grey van. The police immediately upgraded the investigation to a critical incident and launched a massive search. 24 hours after April went missing, 46-year-old Mark Bridger, who lived local to April, was arrested. He became a suspect because he matched a description of the man and the vehicle, a left-hand drive Land Rover Discovery, which an eyewitness had seen April entering following having a conversation with the man. On the 6th of October, Mark Bridger was charged with child abduction, murder, and attempting to pervert the course of justice. He was held at Strangeways Prison. On the 14th of January 2013, Mark Bridger pleaded not guilty to the charge of murdering April Jones, but accepted that he was probably responsible. Mark Bridger had a string of convictions, stretching back to when he was 19 years old. He was convicted of firearm offences and theft. He moved to Wales in the 1980s, where he was convicted of 3 separate driving offences. In 2004, he was convicted of battery and threatening behaviour, and in 2007, he was convicted of assault. At his trial, an expert told the court that fragments of human bone consistent with a younger individual had been found in the fireplace of Mark Bridger's cottage. Blood was found in several parts of the cottage, which matched April's DNA. Bridger's defence was that he had accidentally run over 5-year-old April in his car and could not remember disposing of her body due to alcohol and panic. On the 30th of May 2013, Bridger was found guilty of abduction, murder, and perverting the course of justice. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with a whole life order. After his conviction, it was revealed that Bridger had confessed to the Strangeways prison chaplain that he had disposed of April's body in the river that flowed past his cottage. The Welsh police believe that he scattered April's remains across the countryside near his house. He served his time at Strangeways before his trial, but after was sentenced to serve his time at Wakefield Prison. In 2013, just a few weeks into his sentence, he was attacked by a fellow prisoner with an improvised weapon, resulting in facial and throat injuries. In 2013, Bridger appealed against his whole life order, but dropped the appeal a few days before it was due to be heard. He remains in prison. 3. Thomas Cashman. Thomas Cashman had 18 previous convictions for 33 offences and was a known drug dealer based in Liverpool. On the 22nd of August 2022, Cheryl Corbell opened her front door as she heard a disturbance outside of her house. Her 9-year-old daughter, Olivia, was stood behind her. Joseph Nee, a 35-year-old, well-established organised crime group member, was fleeing from an unknown gunman, attempting to force himself into her home. While Nee attempted to enter their house, the gunman, who was wearing a balaclava and a black jacket, approached the house and shot 4 times. One of the bullets went through Cheryl's wrist and into her daughter Olivia's chest. Olivia lost her life. Nee, the intended target of the shooting, was a convicted drug dealer and burglar. He had been released on licence in 2021 and was halfway through his sentence. Nee ran away after the incident and got into an escape vehicle, a black Audi. The next day he was arrested for breaching his licence conditions and was returned to prison. On the 1st of September 2022, Merseyside police released footage of the gunman, and on the 4th of September, one man was arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder, and 2 others were detained. By the 10th of September, 9 men were arrested. Cashman was apprehended due to a former partner speaking to police. She said that he came to her address shortly after the murder. He was in a panicked state. He also asked for a change of clothes. These clothes showed residue on them from the gun used. He was also seen on CCTV multiple times. Thomas Cashman was held at Strangeways prison, but on the 3rd of April 2023 he was sentenced to life imprisonment for Olivia's murder. For the attempted murder of his intended target Nee, he was ordered to serve a min of 42 years before being considered for parole. He was sentenced to 10 years for the wounding of Olivia's mother and received 2 18-year sentences for both counts of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. He will be eligible to be considered for parole on the 22nd of March 2064, at which time he will be in his mid-70s. In late April 2023, Cashman was to appeal to have his sentence reduced. In July 2023, he was refused permission to appeal his sentence. He still serves his time at Strangeways prison. 4. Connor Chapman. On the 24th of December at around midnight, at the Lighthouse pub in Wallasey, patrons rang the police after gunshots were heard, firing into the entrance of the pub. 26-year-old Ellie Edwards lost her life and 5 others were injured. The police started a murder inquiry using CCTV and eyewitnesses. They believe the gunman left in a Mercedes. By January 2023, the police had received 150 tips from the public. They had arrested 4 people and 1 was recalled to prison. But on the 13th of January, 22-year-old Connor Chapman was arrested. Thomas Waring was also arrested in connection to Ellie Edwards' murder. At their trial in June 2023, CCTV footage showed Connor Chapman leaving the car park and opening fire. 2 of the people injured in the shootings were his targets. He fled the scene in his friend Thomas Waring's stolen Mercedes. They explained at the trial the shooting was due to ongoing retaliation and tension between 2 rival gangs. Chapman denied murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, 3 of wounding with intent, and 1 of both possession of a firearm and possession of ammunition. Warren denied possession of a prohibited weapon and assisted an offender. They were both found guilty. On the 7th of July, Chapman was sentenced to life imprisonment with a min term of 48 years. Warren was also sentenced to 9 years in prison. Just a few weeks into Chapman's sentence, he was caught with a phone. He still serves his time at Strangeways prison. 5. Harold Shipman. Harold Shipman is considered to be one of the most prolific serial killers in modern history. It's estimated he has around 250 victims. GP Harold Shipman would target elderly patients and give them lethal amounts of drugs. His crimes were committed between 1975 and 1998. He was given life imprisonment with a whole life order. While waiting for his trial, he was held at Strangeways prison. He was then sentenced to serve his time at Wakefield prison. On the 13th of January 2004, at the age of 57, he took his own life in his cell. 6. Ray Terrett. Raymond Terrett was an English radio DJ. He was active from the 1960s to 2012. He was also close friends with fellow DJ Jimmy Savile. In December 2014, Terrett was convicted of an indecent assault and was sentenced to 25 years in Strangeways prison. He served 6 years of his prison sentence. He died in May 2021 at the age of 79. 7. Dale Cregan. On the 18th of September 2012, Dale Cregan phoned the Manchester police reporting a burglary. 2 police officers showed up, Nicola Hughes and Fiona Bone, and when they arrived, Dale Cregan opened fire at them and threw a grenade. They both lost their lives. He was arrested and charged with their murders. He originally pled not guilty, but on the 12th of Feb 2013, Dale Cregan changed his plea to guilty. 3 months later, he admitted to carrying out 2 separate murders in 2012, which were linked to a gangland feud in Manchester. On the 13th of June 2013, he was sentenced to life imprisonment for the 4 murders with a whole life order. While awaiting his trial, he served his time at Strangeways prison. He was then sent to Full Sutton prison. He was moved to Ashworth Hospital in September 2013 because he went on a hunger strike. He was moved back to Strangeways prison in March 2018, where he boasted about his workout regime and access to snooker and tennis. It's reported that in 2020 he was moved back to a psychiatric hospital, where he serves his sentence. Thanks for watching. Until next time.